To celebrate the fact that we reached 5,000 subscribers, we asked you to ask questions regarding life in Germany, moving to Germany, or personal questions about us. So we will answer those questions in this video. Hey, I'm Jen and I'm from Guatemala.
And I'm Yvonne and I'm German.
And together we're from simplegermany.com, where we help expats settle into life in Germany more smoothly. So let's jump right into it. First question is from Michael or Michael. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I would say it's Michael. Although the last name is also German, but I think from some comments before I've understood that you are not German.
Okay. Or Michael. Please let us know. So the first question is, maybe you can talk about your jobs. What are you working for a living? So as you may or may not know, well, you probably don't know because that's what you're asking, right? I am a full-time software developer. Currently, I am working on a startup that we are creating an app called Grid. It's a mobile app for desktop for iOS and Android, and that is my full-time job. Part-time job, I work for Simple Germany, and I am pretty much the tech girl behind the scenes that takes care of the website. I take care of YouTube and all these things.
I worked in tourism ever since I can think of, actually. And my latest job has been working at a language school called EF, Education First. And actually my job was to send Germans of all ages abroad.
Also to send family members to learn languages, because I went to study German here in Germany through EF as well, yeah.
Well, I didn't send you abroad, I just sent you to Berlin.
Yeah. That's kind of abroad if you're from Düsseldorf.
But yeah, so basically I sent Germans abroad to learn other languages, their cultures, yeah, that was basically it. Whether for kids in the summer or really also for adults. Yeah, now Simple Germany is growing so much that we have decided that I will dedicate in the future all my energy on Simple Germany.
Wow, so first employee right there. So that's pretty cool. So we hope we answered that question. Next question is from Anna.
Next question is from Anna, and Anna is asking Jen. Do you have any advice for finding a job in Germany, specifically as a software engineer? I'm just getting started on the job search, and I found your search and resume tips super helpful.
Okay, that's an interesting question. So I think that as a software developer engineer, you have an advantage above all else, I would say, unfortunately, just because the amount of demand for developers in Germany, and I would say around the world, is pretty high. Yeah. My number one suggestion would be to, if you don't have yet, to open a LinkedIn profile. Pimp up your LinkedIn profile, put all your already, experience, education, but
projects.
Most importantly, your description. Put in that description like keywords that you think recruiters or other companies will be looking for. If you are an expert in a certain kind of language, put that there. Framework, put that there. I will put my LinkedIn profile, if you are interested, also in the description box below, so you can get an idea. I'm not open for jobs in LinkedIn, and even so, I get contacted by recruiters quite constantly. So like I said, that's why I think we have an advantage above all others, just because the amount of job openings for developers, it's pretty high.
And English, like not speaking German, is definitely not a hurdle in that field also.
I agree, yes. Yeah. Here you can find a lot easier the English-speaking jobs. This is why we talk in our video about like how to find a job in Germany without speaking English, which we will link here. This is the number one thing that if you're in the tech industry, your probability is just a lot higher.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, another tip is...
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. We know a super cool recruiter in the tech industry, and his name is Jaime Rogers.
Yeah.
He is British.
Yes.
And we also leave his link, his contact below. And you can contact him, just let him know that you come from Simple Germany, and he'll be happy to look at your resume and your application to see what profile you have and what job or what company could fit to you in Germany.
Next question.
All right, I think that's for
okay,
you.
That's for me. So this question is for, I don't know if I pronounced this correctly or not, but it's Dwijal. So the question is, I'm a content manager, so do you think B2 level proficiency in German is okay to look for a job there? Or is C1 required?
Wow, okay, so you're probably going to hate me because my first answer will be, it depends. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
So let me give you a little bit more detail here. I would say it highly depends on what type of content manager.
Right.
First of all, in what industry, but second of all, more importantly, for what company and in what language. So, for example, Jen, when she first moved to Germany, her job was purely in Spanish. So obviously, she didn't really need German per se.
And
So-
also in that job, in that company, there were content managers, and they had like their mother tongue as a region. So there were French, Italian, Spanish.
That's exactly what I just wanted to say. So if you're hired as a content manager for the Spanish-speaking market, for the French market, then I mean B2 is more than enough, even if the company language is German, because B2 gives you a good level to communicate with your colleagues and
for meetings and
internally.
stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. If, however, you're getting hired or you want to be a content manager for a German website, German social media, German app, whatever, so German speaking, I'm sorry to say, but even C1 would not be enough. It probably needs to be native tongue, because you need to be writing, you need to be proofreading. So that's like what I can tell you.
Yeah, I like that answer and I agree. Yeah. So next question is from, I think it's a username here.
Yeah, it's a username. But by the way, if you have no idea where we got these questions from, then be sure to subscribe and also like this video, because this is actually a question we raised in our community.
Yeah, we raised it as a community post, and if you're subscribed, you could have seen that.
So next one is a username called Rabennase3 or 3 in that sense.
Would that be like Rabennase, like nose?
It could be the nose of the crow.
Ah, the crow. Ah, the crow. Ah, the animal, the bird.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So the question is, have you seen any impact of Brexit to your business? Maybe more people coming to Germany, although it wasn't their first choice? More Brits considering living there?
Boah, to be very honest, as Germans say, boah.
Boah.
To be very honest, I would say we don't know.
We don't know, yeah. We're too young to have noticed a change.
Yeah, I do know that I had a coworker, even before it was official, when Brexit was announced, a British coworker living in Germany, and once he heard the whole thing was going to happen, he applied for the German citizenship. So I do know some have decided to stay here even longer or more permanently. And there, I would assume that others have migrated here too. But personally, like in our business, we haven't seen an increase or decrease in that sense.
Very true.
The next question comes from Maria's, I guess it's a username.
Yeah.
And the question's in German, and it's, wie habt ihr euch kennengelernt? That is like, how did you meet each other?
Exactly.
This comes also in relation to a question from Beatrice, who says, how do you even meet girls, right? So I think it kind of like we can answer both questions in one. So my strategy when I moved to Germany to meet girls was to join a sports club. That's because in Guatemala, usually that's where you meet girls. When you like girls, that's where you go to meet girls. You can go to bars and stuff, but that has never been really successful for me. So I joined a sports club, and to my surprise, I didn't know German girls that are not queer also like to play sports. So I was in a situation where I thought I was going to meet a lot of girls, and then I met I met girls in the sense of like friends, but not like, like to have something romantically interested girls. Yeah. So that was a big flop. But I kept at it because it was fun to do sports and to be in a group of girls and just like, play, and it was fun.
So,
and then
may I just interrupt you?
Yes.
Because this has been like also in comments of other videos, like a bit of a conversation where Jen just felt very, very supported. That apparently in Germany, the culture of meeting other queers is a little bit different, especially when it comes to sports, because us Germans, we're like very outdoorsy and very athletic, and we just embrace that maybe more than in some other cultures.
Yeah, I totally agree. So here we are so to give you an example, I joined a softball team. Classic, right? And then I joined, then that was like very far away. It was very complicated to participate in it. And then I used to hang out in an Irish pub a lot. And this Irish pub, I became friends with the people, kind of like owners and also bartenders there. And then they had I like to call it a Gaelic football team.
Gaelic.
But it's Gaelic football. And they had one for men and one for women. And
so what is Gaelic football?
So Gaelic football, I think it's an Irish sport that they invented when they were very drunk. Because it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of like rugby, basketball, football, I would say even ping pong.
Soccer. So it's just a crazy fast-paced game where you play with a round ball that's a little bit smaller than a soccer ball. And you can, like, you need to smack it, you can dribble it, you can kick it, but you cannot throw it. So it's a very fun game.
And hold and behold, Yvonne joined this team as well.
Yep.
And that's how we met each other in a Gaelic football team.
Gaelic. So at the end of the day, it was a sports team-ish, even though it wasn't it wasn't a proper verein yet back in the day. But yeah, that's how we met. And to be honest, we literally ran into each other fighting over the ball.
I would say she ran into me wanting to take the ball away from me.
And that's how we kind of like got the conversation started.
Yeah. If you don't know what a verein is actually one of our tips to where to meet people in Germany, and it's pretty much like a club. Verein stands for
a sports club.
A sports club.
Or a hobby club, whatever.
Yeah, and we have a whole video on how to make friends in Germany, which you can check out if you're interested in that. And for us, actually, that's where we found love. Oh. So next question for you.
So next question is, let me see here.
No, this one.
Yeah. Materialfehler, also a username, yeah. Wie habt ihr? Well, that's the same one. So then is, was macht ihr neben YouTube in eurer Freizeit gerne? So what do we like to do in our free time next to YouTube? Mm-hmm. Well, you already know that YouTube is not just like our main time, obviously, because there's other jobs involved and also the website. But we love to be outdoorsy in our free time, whether that is in the beautiful outdoor nature that Düsseldorf has to offer. Not so much. No, but we love to be in the mountains particularly. So we agree that we prefer mountains over ocean.
Yes, that's a discussion for a different time.
Yeah, that's a discussion for a different time. So we love to be outdoorsy, we love to be active, and we love to do road trips.
Yes, if you don't, this is maybe a little personal information. So we bought a Volkswagen Caddy Maxi. That is just a transporter. We'll put a picture here. And we converted that to a mini camper van in January. We'll also put a picture. And we are now, we've always loved road tripping in camper vans, and now we have our own. So so we really, really enjoy being outdoors, road tripping, camping, and all these stuff, discovering. Yeah. Also here, even in Düsseldorf, when the weather's nice, we're usually outside having a picnic, barbecue. So we just love being outdoors, I would say.
Yeah.
And doing sports.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next question.
Next question.
My turn. So this one is from Dovile B. How easy was for Jen to learn German?
Wait, was?
And this goes into another. Eileen also asked, how much time did it take you to speak German fluently?
So first of all, I don't think it's a was, it's an is. It's still present tense.
So I have to. Okay, so full disclosure here. So I have been learning German ever since I was in Guatemala, and this could be back in the early 2000s. So it's been it was in middle school. I started in high school. I learned it in high school, university. I even went to this European language academy every Saturday, where I had a teacher from Berlin, actually, funny enough. I moved to Hungary. There, I obviously didn't practice my German. I moved to Germany in 2012, and ever since then, it's been a love-hate relationship with Deutsch.
Okay, so may I just say, first of all...
Wait, I want to say, the fact is, because I am not generally a very language-inclined person. This is what you were wanting to say,
yes.
Yeah? And I'm not very good with languages. I think I learned English and Spanish, and then I just got, my hard drive here with languages got full. So German has been a constant struggle, I would say.
So also, obviously we want to motivate you also a little bit. Also, that's why we have other videos on how to learn German, right?
Right.
But I would say you neglected to learn German the first 2-3 years.
Very true. Because as you already mentioned, my first job was in Spanish in an English-speaking company. So where and when would I practice my German? Only with my girl here at Röwe, with which Payback-Karte, I understand that, and I can say nein. Und mit Karte zahlen bitte. Or the things also that I could say, I want to pay with card.
So if you would go back in time, would you now make a better effort to learn German from the start?
Yes, I would. Because I really just started making an effort when I met you, to be very honest. Because I was put in a situation where we went to meet your family. I sat at the table and I'm like, what are they talking about? I didn't really understand anything, right? And even little things like, Jen, pass me the stuff. And I'd be like, I felt so awkward. So that's what really motivated me to speak German. And I wish I would have done that sooner. But now, so in conclusion, after my whole journey of to answer your question, once I focused on it and I wanted to, it took me...
That's the big difference, wanting something.
Yeah,
right?
and focusing on it.
Yeah.
It took me approximately 1.5 years to feel comfortable enough. I will tell you my limitations. I still cannot speak very complicated, like technical topics in German or any other complicated topic. A full German conversation is a bit tough. Also because Germans tend to be very, how do you say this? Very, you have a lot of vocabulary and it's very like advanced, right? Like you have very specific words for very complicated concepts. And if you don't know this vocabulary, it's very hard, you know? Not like English, it's a very simple language. You have very simple words to also explain complex topics.
Yes.
So I'm sometimes in a situation where, I'm getting the hang of it. And then suddenly comes this one word that is like, explains everything. And you're like, huh. So those are my two limitations. However, I think I can do small talk. I can understand 85%.
Yeah. So I would say Jen is fluent, however, not fluently correct. So you can hold a conversation. Like that's like we discussed this also in our previous videos. Like when I heard you talk in the Lingvoda class.
Yes, yeah.
Like that was 1 hour of fluent speaking. However, there's grammatical mistakes. So the question is, of course, first of all, how language driven are you? Like I'm, for example, more language driven than Jen is, but Jen is more technically driven than I am.
Yes.
Right? How language driven are you? How much do you want it? And at the end of the day, how much do you use it in a natural environment? So for example, when Jen changed her job, where the company language was German, like her German improved dramatically.
Yes.
Just because she was put in a situation where she kind of like had to, but also where she could. So that's kind of like the take on it. But you need to definitely plan 1 to 2 years to reach a level where you feel like you can get a hang of the game.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. And I must argue that I just don't only speak 2 languages. I speak like 5 languages when you compare the softer languages I also like, write. So I'm just saying, Okay. So next question is here.
Next question is from
Imala.
Yeah, Imala39. It's in German again. So it's basically asking, why did we start recording videos, and is it sometimes difficult to coordinate YouTube and our jobs in regular life?
You can answer this, yeah.
So to be quite frank here, I'm very, very honest. We, like today, for example, is a Saturday. We usually record on the weekends, and we probably record like a few videos on one day. So we kind of like record once a month.
Yeah, we record once a month. I am in charge. I am the editor-in-chief. I don't know if that's even a word, but I'm the one that edits the video. And I'm not a filmographer or editor by any means, but I put them together, and that's what you're seeing today. Yeah. And we started YouTube as an additional or a complement to our website, simplegermany.com. So simplegermany.com was our focus, or still is our main focus generally, right? Yeah. Because that's where we can actually put detailed information and guides that will help internationals arriving in Germany. And YouTube was is a complement to that. And in YouTube, we are able to do more fun stuff and talk about the culture of things and be more personal and share more our stories and I feel it's more of a community also to let other internationals know out there that you're not alone, right? Like we've all been through this and you can do it. Kind of, right? Yeah.
Totally.
Which you cannot transmit that with a written word on a website, I would say.
Not in the same manner. No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It takes the discipline to sit down on a weekend instead of being maybe outside in the beautiful weather. Yeah. And doing it. But that's, again, if you want something, you do it. And we want to do this. And we are thankful for, obviously, your support and your feedback, because that just motivates us to keep going.
Talking about support, we would like to thank all of you and give a massive shout out to those who have supported us on coffee.com. Again, this is our link, coffee.com, Simple Germany. And this is a this is a service that we set up to allow you guys to provide small donations to keep on supporting this channel. And we would like to especially thank Lauren for being the first one to give recurrent donations, meaning every month you are buying us a coffee, which we highly appreciate. And we wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you for that.
Exactly.
Back to the questions.
On to the next question, and that is from Anna.
Our beloved Anna. So, her question is, why Düsseldorf? What do you like about it? Maybe some cons. Which comes also with another question from Ayela. Have you thought of moving to another city in Germany?
Yes. Oh. Wow, okay, that came fast. Maybe we can give a little bit more detail, although we've kind of like teased it a little bit already.
Yeah, so first to answer Anna's question, why Düsseldorf? Düsseldorf, because this is where I found a job back in 2012.
Well, me too.
This is where you found a job
Yeah.
back in 2013, actually. So it's not the same year. So we moved both here for a job. Then we found each other. Then we stayed here also because of us, but also our jobs
Yeah.
were here. And I really like Düsseldorf.
Me too.
I love Düsseldorf. I love the size of the city, the fact that we can cycle everywhere. It's like a small village sometimes because like once you know your neighborhood and the people, it's really nice, right? There's a city vibe to it, but it's still small enough to feel like a town-ish,
Exactly.
right?
That's
If you compare it to
exactly it.
Berlin, which is like just massive. However, the very big con is that there are no mountains. There are hills, yes, I know what you're going to say.
Yes,
you can go
that's
to
Bergische,
Wuppertal,
yeah,
Bergische
but it's
Land.
not the same.
It is not the same as being by the Alps with like these these turquoise, very
Lakes.
beautiful lakes.
It's not the same as like really like climbing up to like a summit like with a Gipfelkreuz, you know, and be like, yeah.
Gipfelkreuz is I don't know if this is common in other countries, but in the Alps they put like a cross at the top of every summit, and when you reach it, that's like
With
the
a little
picture.
book where you can write in.
Yeah. So so pros of Düsseldorf, we like it very much because it's small, big city. Cons is that there is not much nature that we enjoy in the sense of hiking and stuff. And to answer then Ayala's question is
which
yes?
May I answer that?
Yes.
Thank you. Which my strong yes came out because especially of course lately, you know, with less traveling internationally, nature has just become probably for a lot of people like this secluded place that you want to spend more time in. So obviously our hearts have been like asking for more natural surroundings, and so this is pretty much the number one reason why we are definitely considering moving, and we are of course looking somewhere closer to the Alps. However, we still would like this city vibe in a way, right? We still would like a little like buzzing, like gastronomy scene, like little restaurants where you just see people like living their life, being happy. So it shouldn't be a little village. So it should also be not too big. Like Munich probably for us would be too big already.
Probably, yeah.
So we are kind of like eyeballing like the Augsburg-Ulm area. But if you have any advice, suggestions, live down there and have like any awesome spots, towns, cities that we are unaware of, please let us know because we are open for inspiration.
That would be super cool, yeah. And actually now that Ivan is full-time Simple Germany, which is a remote job, also my job is also fully remote. This gives us also the opportunity to move without being job dependent in Düsseldorf anymore. So that changed, and that's why now we're considering moving. Because before, because of our jobs, it was a bit more complicated, right? Yeah, so that is, What else do we have here? So those are the last questions that we have. However, we would like to also give a big shout out and big thank you to Karen Land, which I don't know if this is your full name or a username again, but thank you so much for answering questions that other people had in our post and in other videos. We've seen you very active there in the community, so we would like to thank you so much for answering questions, very useful answers.
Being involved, yes.
Yeah, so big shout out to Karen.
And we also want to thank everyone that gave us new video suggestions, asking us whether we could do a video, for example, on how to send packages or a parcel, what interview rounds exist in Germany, and also what places are good to visit in Germany, which obviously we can go into a bit more detail in the future, also from what we've discussed with our little camper van.
Yeah, totally.
So that's definitely coming up in the future. Stay tuned, subscribe, and be happy.
Yeah, until next Monday.
Cheers!